Bracket racing isn't just what we do, it's who we are. It's how we identify ourselves.
What does bracket racing mean to me? It's my life. It's where my people are. My idols, my family, my friends.
Bracket racing is life. Bracket life.
Hello, welcome back to the Bracket Life broadcast. Brandon here. My good buddy Andrew sitting across from me, kind of. It's quite a time. It's been a while since we've done this, Andrew.
Feels like has.
It's been,
yeah,
but
I can't remember actually. Was it a month ago or?
Yeah, pretty much a full month now, and it was crazy. It just time flies. It feels like we did it, last week, but then at the same time, feels like it's been 3 months.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good to go through. Good to get all the information back. I was whipping through, right, getting as many results as I can. There's a boatload. We will miss a bunch of them because there's been so much racing in a month, right? Is what it is. We're going to talk about a lot of racing that you and I went to because obviously, right? It's just going to get some more attention. That's how it goes, and the ones that were sent to us. So yeah, a lot of exciting stuff. Before we officially kick off the show, I know I am decked out in Ogilvy stuff. It kind of just happened. That's how it goes when you live across the road from the spot. But tonight we want to officially thank our sponsor, Pro1Safety.ca. Pro1 Safety Canada offers racing safety equipment, including seatbelts, harnesses, fire suits, helmets, Hans device, anything like that. Whatever you need. Racing shoes, pants, gloves, jacket. I don't know. If you need it, they got it.
Pretty much. T-shirts, like
everything. Yeah. Hats. I gotta get a fancy hat. I don't know if Jay's probably not watching right now, but I do need a nicer, another nice Pro One hat.
I got that hat out in the trailer. I really need to get that back into the studios here with all my boxes and my pictures all behind me here.
That's where mine is. That's what I said to Rach when I was coming down to do this. I'm like, where's my Pro One hat? Oh yeah, it's in the motorhome. And like the motorhome is just outside the house, but I had stuff to do. That's how it goes. Yeah, lots of reps. 4 different reps, coast to coast. Travis Springeth out west. Matt's Auto Racing. Jonathan and Matt, Southern Ontario area. Jay in the Quebec area, and Jason McNeil down east covering the Maritime. So lots of great people around. Right, they're always at the racetrack or always somewhere near a racetrack. It seems. Can contact them. Pro1Safety.ca for more information. Check them out. Thank you to them. Andrew, obviously a big supporter of Pro One. You're decked out in it all day at the racetrack. I do not have a Pro One yet. Getting there. I do like my Pro One gloves. We were looking at some different shoes a couple weeks ago. What else do I have that's Pro One? Arm restraints, gloves. I think that's all I have right now. Yeah.
Well, next stuff. I love it.
That's it.
Yeah.
The outside stitch is key.
Oh, yeah. The glove with the outside stitch. Yeah,
I'm a big fan.
That's money.
If you are tuning in live, we do already have Mike in there. Be sure to let us know you're here. Let us know you're hanging around, right? Talk to us, comments, little discussions, questions, whatever you have throughout the show. We love the conversations and the little tangents that we can get on. Before we do jump into the countdown, if there is anybody listening or watching that is headed to Napierville this weekend for the National Open race, let us know, right?
Yep.
Little roll call here, right? Get the action going, get the excitement, heating up. That's where I'll be this weekend. We'll talk more about that later on in the show. Andrew, we'll dive into the Canadian countdown. We will start at West. We'll go out there. Andrew and I didn't get a whole lot of time to plan for this, so we'll whip through this, and however it goes is how it's going to go. We'll start with top eliminator, the Big Bucks weekend, June 21st, 22nd. It's a big highlight of that. The Big Bucks event is always massive. I know a couple years ago when it was just after I had went out there, I know they raced for $40K each day to win.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It was $25K to win each day. A couple of hitters rolling in and taking it down. Not some local racers that got the big wins. Aaron Stanky, obviously, like from the Alberta area, I mean, but mainly a big NHRA,
Top dragster racer.
top dragster, top sportsman, following all that stuff. We've already talked about Aaron a couple of times for big wins at NHRA races. Like there was a divisional and a national win. Rolls up, does some bracket racing for 25K at home, right? No problem with that. Picks up the win over Dalen Miller on the Saturday, and then $1 million Cooper Chun
Yeah.
in there comes out driving Casey Plazier's car. Rolls in, driving for Casey. I'm not sure if they were doubled or not, but Cooper goes down, gets the win on Sunday, 25K over Ryan O'Connor. So great matchup there, right? Ryan, obviously a big, hometown hitter at Rad Torque Raceway. Ryan's in a lot of big finals all the time, making a lot of noise. So good race for him and Cooper, and yeah, cool deal for them. I love seeing the big money stuff, and the way they do it out west is different from here, right? With the clubs that kind of put the races on. So it's
Yeah.
really how they make that all work.
They don't have that natural large car count that you'd see in the U.S. or frankly even a little bit like we would see out here. Not that our car counts are gigantic as compared to the U.S., but they certainly make sure that you can run for money when you're running out there. And from a geography standpoint, we've all realized I'm not the strongest in geography, but it is pretty far out there with Edmonton, right? So to draw the way they do, they got to come up with a format that works, and it's a unique setup. It really is, and it does well. It's had some great racing out there, and if you had a chance to watch any of the live stream of it too, right? It's amazing now how many tracks are broadcasting these things, week in and week out now to be able to watch these events. So it's a neat setup.
Yeah, and probably one of the first Canadian tracks I think to live stream every weekend, for the most part. So that was really cool deal. So yeah, love all the stuff the Top E's doing out there. That will lead us to the Super Tour race at Luskville, the first one. There's a lot of Super Tour here. Right, I was just going through all the results. Andrew, you missed
number 2.
Yeah, you missed this one. Didn't make it out to Luskville. Saturday, Frank Anger gets the win over Brock Godmare. Brock had a great weekend, so runner-up Saturday for 5K. Sunday, Brock gets the win over Max Goche. So 2 final rounds and 2 races. Can't complain about that. Semi-pro on Saturday was Patrick O'Leary over Sarah Harling. Ivan Grenier got the semi-pro win on Sunday over Dominic Germain. And Maverick Anger doubled up. Won junior on Saturday and Sunday, so good for Maverick. It was a cool deal. Obviously on Saturday night, he got to share the winner's circle with his dad, so that obviously always
special.
A really neat thing to do, right? Cool deal for them. So yeah, awesome start for that. Andrew, you want to whip us through some Greenfield Dragway results?
Absolutely. So we're going to go from, I guess we're working our way back east, right? So we got Edmonton, we're in Luskville, now we're going to head out to Greenfield. July 5th and 6th, no box, Warren Cottrell over John Kraft. Greenfield box ET class, Chad Ramsey over Michael Burns. Bike sled, Steve Dugan over Ryan McDonald. Maritime Big Money Madness, no box. So this part I'm not as familiar with, but I know this is the big money version. Is this the 5K that they had, or is there 75? I'm trying to remember now, and I'm struggling.
I think the King of the Hill part was what they all ran off for.
Okay.
Can you confirm that as we go through?
Fair enough. Maritime Big Money Madness, no box. Sheldon Kasavica was enough. Yeah, over Bill Shepard. Apologize, as we know. There should be like a start here where we just put out, we do not be held responsible for mispronunciation of any names. We are not announcers. Maritime Big Money Madness box, Jason McNeil over Blair Walker, and then Maritime Big Money Madness Jr., Jake Massey over Lily Arsenault. Then the King of the Hill, Jason McNeil picking up a W. Certainly not an unfamiliar name to the winner's circle in an overall sense there. Super stock, Dave Garland over Jeremy Kearns. Sunday, Super Pro, Daryl Stewart over John Rankin. The Rankin family doing well out there. Warren Cottrell with a W in pro over Vaughn Boone. That's a great name. That's like a baseball name right there.
Yeah,
Vaughn
it is.
Boone. Really like that. Sportsman, Ann Copeland over Vince Hazel. Spike sled, Adam Hoar, Hoar. Yeah, I'll go with it. Bruce Mossman Adam over Bruce Mossman, and juniors Bryson McNeil over Sarah Burns. The quick 660, love quick racing. Wyatt Rankin over Danny Walker, and super stock Cale Johnson over Dan Nickerson to take the W.
Looked like a great weekend. I'm just reading through all this. I'm not sure how it all laid out. The all-run race was 6,000 to win for the Big Money Madness. So
That's
I believe
not bad.
that's the race that Jason won.
Yep.
Jason will confirm with me at some point in time. Was talking to Jason a bunch today. Yeah. Either way, great for them. Jason McNeil with a new to him race car. First 2 weekends.
Yes.
2 big wins.
That's a way to christen the new car.
It's working, right?
Yeah.
I guess it's working. Yeah. So awesome.
That is fair.
Cool deal. I love the feeling of what racing down east is right now. Seems like there's a lot of investment going in, not just like with payouts to the racers, but a lot of investment into the programs, a lot of investment by the racers to come out and support all their events. And the tracks seem to be really working together for the most part, right? Everybody's kind of travels around, right? There's only so many racers in a certain area, right? We know that here, in Ontario, and so you can only support so many racetracks so many times. So this seems like a full team effort down there to make everything work right now.
Yeah, really, it's the high tides floats all boats. Not to use a boat reference for the Maritimes, but it seems the most appropriate, right?
What happens, right? Sometimes it just kind of comes together.
That's it.
Andrew, we will hit the second Super Tour event, which was not scheduled to come up last weekend. Whatever.
Yeah, I did think about that one too. When that one's in the schedule.
Yeah. So the rained out Napierville race was then took place the first weekend of July. So we went there. Pretty good turnout. It's a good weekend for the most part. Super Pro on Saturday for 5K. Dominic Cincerelli takes the win over Al Ray. Great race there. Semi was Elaine Marios over Steve Duquette. Annabelle Susie took the win over Parker Seguin and Junior Dragster. Sunday night came around. My good friend Andrew Strike.
Yes.
Gets the win over Al Ray once again. So, old man Al Ray going to two 5K finals in that door car, going 520s. Was he 530s?
520s, 530s. He was dialed at 29, I think, in the final on the Sunday there. So in 96 degree heat or whatever that 4,300 feet of air was that we were in. But I know everyone out in Alberta says that's probably a great day at racing, but out here that's a thick day. But flying in that door car, doing a great job. I mean, it's a tough field. The door car side, the dragster side is a murderer's row at times, and the door car side can be just as difficult to navigate with some really good racers over there. Particularly when people go out giving cars to Derek Malcolm and other guys like that who are really great racers. Al, to navigate your way to the final round over 2 hot, long days like they did, kudos to them. That car is working, particularly going as quick as it is.
Yeah, no, it was a cool deal. That door car side is tough, like I said. Dragster side, apparently it's hard if you're in a dragster. If you're in a little orange Mustang, it seems to be not that difficult, I guess.
Throw them the curveball, right? Everyone loves the knuckleball because it's just slow and unpredictable. Basically, how I drive. So
you got the Super Tour monkey off your back, right? Big check there. So that was excellent, right? That was a big day. Sunday's not as much fun to win at, right? Because there's not like the big party and stuff after, but it's still pretty cool.
It's all great. It just means you get to hit the road and grab the Denny's dinner real fast on the way home. Like that's the upside about the Sunday win. It really was a great day. Ran the Mustang on the door or the dragster side, Corvette on the door car side, and went some rounds in the vet. It's funny. It's been the better car, but the Mustang has been going rounds, and sometimes that's just how racing is, right? It's weird how that comes together, but I've navigated my way through a tough dragster side to get myself into the final round to create an all door car final, or as I think I was telling the Bruneys, it just identifies as a dragster today, a really slow, heavy dragster today. But it was great. It was certainly, throws a curveball at the dragster side. I've enjoyed running, that side of the ladder with it because it's something they're not seeing, right? Baseball analogies abound here, right? But when you can throw the off-speed pitch, it really throws a monkey wrench sometimes into the plan when you're used to running maybe the slow car, which is a 5.0 dragster, right? And all of a sudden you got a 630 door car going 109. Well, you're barreling down on. So I got a little lucky. Certainly won 1 or 2 rounds due to the slow car. I think the round I delivered I don't know if it was 7-pack or 8-pack against Jessup's 9-pack was, something, that was a big round because that was one of those ones where you had to pull a rabbit out of a hat in a bit, and I did. But, otherwise, it was a fun day. It was great. Get the W, get the winner's circle, and third final on the Super Tour, and finally seal the deal. So it was a lot of fun. Truly enjoyed it.
All your finals have been in Napierville?
No, I had one in Luskville. Actually, I was talking to Terry Moran about this as well. Terry whipped me at the Bonanza on, I can't remember when it was. It was in the vet. The vet had 2 cracks at it, but it was the Mustang that finally sealed the deal. So, and to think that car probably was for sale about a half dozen times over the last 12 months as I tried to sort it out. So there you go.
No, that's good Sunday. And it was fun to hang out a little bit, right? We got to park beside each other and hang out a little bit, and so it was nice to see you.
Yeah. It was worth the trip going off.
Yeah. Semi-pro winner Stephen Ballantyne over Frank Bellin. Great racers there. So that was a great final. I believe both of them was a double breakout in that deal. Junior was Shelby Seguin over Miguel Nadeau. So once again, the ladies dominating the junior dragster category. With Annabelle taking the win Saturday and Shelby on Sunday. So cool deal, right? Lots of young girls racing in juniors right now, and so great for the sport. Great for everybody moving up. And yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think Arnie had a couple posts. I've seen a few here and there because I think the East Coast bracket finals for juniors is going on, and there's a few that are coming up. And just some of the passes that some of these kids are laying down now in junior cars, I wish I could done in my big car in the early days of running anything, no box or box. Yeah. So fantastic racers, another generation coming up that scares me badly. So
yeah, absolutely. It's quite a time, but it's awesome to see what they're doing and see the class growing, right? Seems like it's a pretty healthy class right now, and good bunch of kids doing it, and everybody seems to be very competitive for it, which is what you love, right? More fun when it's cutthroat, right?
Oh yeah.
And anybody can win. So I quite enjoy that part, at least. We'll keep the theme in the Quebec area, so we'll talk with the little bracket that was just this past weekend, just 2 days ago. Now that we got Butch Douglas in the chat here, right? So great to see Butch was back out to Luskville this weekend for the little bracket, driving my old dragster. Was having some issues Saturday. I was fortunate enough to get around him. His car fell off a little bit. Was having some fuel problems, but so I've raced Butch twice since he bought my old car, and I've won both of those races. I'm dreading the time that it comes the other way around, but it will get.
It always evens out.
Yeah, it always does. Saturday at the little bracket, Super Pro Frank Anger once again, another 5K big win there over Dave Rennie. I was the lone semifinalist there. Before we did get to run that final 3, we were in the lanes. Frank and myself were about to race. We were putting our helmets on, and we started getting some drips at the top end, a little rain. Troy comes down from the tower, says, it's raining top end, so you guys should probably go back and put yourself away. I didn't realize that he meant that it's pouring at the top end. Like when I turned on the corner and I drove up the return road, I could not see my trailer because it was raining so hard. Yeah, it was quite a time. So had some help there. Landon Erslack helped Rachel first. Her and Alex were sitting on the golf cart and got smoked. Alex was inside. Rachel was throwing some stuff away. I got back, and then Lando helped me get everything else put back in the trailer. So appreciated that. We took some time. I think we were doing 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
I was actually, if I'm being honest with you, I was in bed trying to get Alex to go to sleep. And I'm pretty sure I woke myself up snoring. And then all of a sudden, Fred comes knocking on my door, and says, "Oh, we're gonna finish this race right now." I'm like, "Hey, man, whatever,
All right.
right?" I'll just wake up and away we go. It was quite a time. I did greet Fred at the door of my motorhome. I did have a dirty diaper in my hand that after I had just finished changing. So,
Yeah. We talk about the bracket life. Like it's not all glamour and glitz
yeah,
when you talk
yeah,
about these things, right?
exactly. That's just all part of it. So
Yep.
we did that. Went out. They gave us a time run to go out. I think I came up. I was one red my time run. I had rolled 4 out in the box. Like I wanted it to be like perfect or one. Just why?
Mhm.
Uh, Ended up coming up one red, whatever. Rolled 4 back in. Missed it a touch. Come up 12. My 12 one above 2, so it's 24 total. Did not beat Frank's 19 dead zero.
Mm.
Frank goes on, takes the win over Dave in the final. But either way, whatever. Good deal. It was fun. We had a good time and fun racing with friends, right? It's
Yeah.
competitive, but good racing. Earlier on in the day, Stephen Valentine, once again, right? I'm going to say Stephen's
On a
name
roll.
17 times during this whole thing. Takes the win over Stefan Pichette. Cole Malcolm Krotner gets the win over Logan Gagne. I believe that was the round we were talking about. Cole was, I think in the final, I think he was 9.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
Logan.
an unreal lap.
Um, and didn't work out. We're over to Sunday. Stephen Valentine once again. I think
Mhm.
that's his third big money win in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Takes the win over Daryl Jensen this time. Junior Dragster and Super Pro did not get finished. We did get hit with rain once again. I wouldn't say hammered. We got hit.
Mm.
I was able to get the car in the trailer before that all went down.
Didn't need to wash it a second time, is what you're saying.
No, exactly. Uh, Eric Stroud won his race, won his round. I won my round against Mike Chenier. Butch Douglas and Landon Erslack were in the water when the rain had started and the race got called. So we're to try and finish that race at a later date. Tough to get
Mm.
everybody kind of back to the track at the same time. So for all the people involved, so we'll see what we can do. But I'm hoping we can figure out a way to finish this off.
Cool.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
that's how my weekend went. We got very
Yeah.
wet, and whatever. But we had fun. We had a great time. Went a boatload of rounds. Um,
Yes.
Car's working really good. I'm doing okay and staying out of its way.
Sometimes that's the biggest obstacle is you got a car that's that good is just staying out of its way and making sure you're not the one causing the L's, right? Because boy,
Yes,
it's that when it's the other way, it's frustrating. I can only
yes.
imagine how frustrated the race car is with us sometimes. So
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Andrew, you want to run us through Cape Breton? I believe that will finish off our results for tonight.
okay, so we got Cape Breton, so the regular racing, plus they had a quick 16 event. Again, love quick racing. Brett Ramsey evidently loves quick racing as well, as he's earned the double up on that weekend. Saturday's box gamblers, Brett Ramsey taking the first place win over James Lyons. No box gamblers, Donnie Chambers over Dan McGrath. Bike sled gamblers, Kurt Strong over Damon Courtney. Junior dragster, Bryson McNeil over Casey McKelvey. And Sunday, we've got quick 16 low ET number one qualifier, Josh Goodwin, taking the number one spot. Quick 16, obviously, taking quick 16 bracket eliminator. My apologies. I'm getting ahead of myself here as I'm reading. Doug Wetherall from Sydney, Nova Scotia, taking the win over Josh Goodwin from Wellington, PEI. Kind of neat seeing all these results from different provinces in a small space like that, right? It's like watching those multiple races. Super Pro, Brett Ramsey taking the win over Andrew Pearson in the pro class. Noah Mugga, haven't heard that name before on the show, have we? This is all new.
Yeah.
Jonathan Sachs with the runner-up in the pro class. Bike sled, Glenn Frizzle over Gavin Posibon. Again, names I don't think I've ever heard on the show. Congrats to them on the bike sled class. Junior dragster, Hunter Marchant over Sarah Burns, and in the sportsman class, Mario Van Wicken.
I think it's Van Waken.
Van Waken. I appreciate that. My announcing career is never going to take off. Ashley Dugan in the sportsman class. I do have some minor results from Empire. I didn't get on here. That was where I spent my past weekend. We had some Canadians down there, so I'll do the highlights on that. We had so this was the Empire 20 grand, so 5 grander Friday, 20 grander Saturday. And technically, it's supposed to be 10 grand Sunday, but with the pending weather, they moved it to Saturday night. So they actually got 2 complete programs done on Saturday in the 90-plus degree heat, which in itself is a survival day. Friday, we had Russ Adams and Dave Gunn, I believe, race off in the semifinals with Dave getting the W. Dave runnered up on the 5K. The 20K, Megan Bonnet, now technically a resident of the United States, but we'll still go with the fact that she does come from the Western Ontario, I believe Windsor area. Megan's car has been in multiple big money finals. I believe it was the run winner of the TB 250 last year.
Correct.
It won. What was the other race?
I get one of 50 as well.
It won a 50 this year, I think.
Yeah.
Megan was due for a big event, and sure enough, in the 20K, cracks him on a very tough day of racing. It was one of those things where you get to survive the main event on the 20K. There was wild packages. Empire does a great job keeping that track tight. It was not a hot, greasy track in the sense of everyone running loose. You could go out there, and if you weren't better than 10 and looking to go dead on somewhere, just put it in the trailer, go find AC, and wait for something else. So great job to her, cracking for 20K. Then the 10 grander comes along, and I believe Russ got down to 14. I got down to 14 in the Mustang. I'm trying to think of how else it went down. I think that was the Canadian results. Unfortunately, a couple of us had to run into each other. We could not pull into the lanes without running, and I had to run Rusty. Rusty beat me once. I believe I had to run Trevor Deeks. Got the better side of that one, sadly. It did not deserve to win that one. The racing gods did bring me back down to earth a little bit. 1,000 ways to lose and 1,000 ways to feel terrible about how you lose. I had to run Giordano, who has won this event a couple times. He has a 460 dragster. I turn it 005 red. He has 007 green and proceeds to break to the point where he's not getting off the track. Brake rolls allow them to get back in the car. So kudos to Giordano. Jumps into a wagon. So goes from a 460 dragster to a 640 or 650 wagon. I believe is high teen, 1 over for the loss in a car he's never driven. Credit where credit's due. Just interesting times. So another great day for the Mustang, but great day for Empire. Great job getting 2 events done. And sure as anything, it did rain hard at noon on Sunday. So smart planning on their end. But the Canadian crew did a great job down there. There was a whole bunch of them actually went to, I think, the casino. I'm not quite sure how the APB went. There was a jet show going on. So the Friday when we're all going in, everyone shows up from Batavia. There's like F-35 fighter jets flying over top. We assumed that the U.S. had finally clamped down on some immigration issues. Apparently wasn't the case. It was just a jet show. But still, some of us were a little bit worried about what was taking place there. So
You never know, man. You never know.
It's a wild time now. It's a wild time, right? But anyhow, great weekend. Good job to Empire. A lot of Canadian folks down there did a great job. So that's my off-the-cuff update right there.
Well, that's excellent. That was well done. Right? Nobody would know that wasn't wrote down.
I hope not. There we go. Or maybe it was. Maybe I wasn't prepared.
Either way. Yeah. So we had some great racing, obviously, right? It's been busy. That's why we haven't been on the show. We did have Canada today, but it has been crazy, right? At the racetrack, everything else. The weather's been hot, but I'd still rather take this over snow. So I'm not complaining, right? I haven't complained about the heat once, and I'm not gonna.
No.
Right? Keep it coming. Right?
I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
It's a lot more expensive to find this in the winter than it is to find cold. So yes. I'm good with this.
You are correct. So we'll start talking about some future events then and some upcoming stuff. We just had there's just an announcement. Let me bring it up on my phone so I get all the information correct here. But we got some big money at SIR. So Saskatchewan International Raceway. All right, we've talked about SIR a bunch on here. Had some folks on, right? We've talked about the new racing surface, all their new improvements that they're making to the track. So the fall finale, September 20th to 21st, the 8th mile big dollar shootout. So $5,000 to win Saturday and Sunday. Single entry $200. So if you double enter, $350 a day. So they're knocking $50 off your entry if you double. So great setup here. Box and no box run separate until the quarterfinals. $300 bonus for no box racers in the quarterfinal merge. So I love it. I love this this setup. These guys, they do it well. So it is a no box class, right? It's not foot brakes. They are using trans brakes, but I love that mix, right? You can, when you make the whole class bigger, right? Keep it separate. But then, so like, say the Super Tour event, it wouldn't work the same because it is foot brake versus using a delay box. But if you got 70 Super Pro cars and then 50 Semi Pro cars or whatever the numbers, doesn't matter. Instead of a 70 and 50 split, now we have 120 cars total. So I love the idea, love the setup. Hope it goes awesome. It would be tough for me to swing going out there based on we are supposed to have a baby in about 3 weeks from that date. Anybody around SIR wanted a friend to come hang out? I've been told I'm a lot of fun, and I'll drive anything. So you just let me know what's going on. So, but awesome to see. Right? I love the improvements that SIR is making. All the stuff that just drag racing in general, right? When it grows and it continues to evolve and get bigger and do more. Another racetrack, right, that we talked about with having, I don't know what you call it, like a group or an organization kind of run the series, right? And then they do a lot of the promotions, they do fundraising, and they do raise all the money to get the track improvements that they need, and then work on the payouts, with the racers for what they want, and make the improvements that are needed to make it better for everyone. So I love the idea of that style of racing and that style of running a racetrack too, right?
It's certainly an interesting model, right? And we had Braden on talking about it quite a bit. I guess I feel like it was a year ago now, but time flies. It might have been longer, might have been shorter.
It was last winter, yes, just before the new surface.
That's right. So it's an interesting format, and it's great to see the investment. I mean, just today looking at Thunder Valley, the news, down in Oklahoma, closing up now doesn't mean it might not come back, but certainly that stuff's heading in the wrong direction. You see tracks like that, and you see in Canada where we're seeing tracks with the investment, and to see what SIR is doing and the investment back, not only in the programs or the track, but in the programs as well, right, with what they're doing, and the ability to come up with some bigger money formats, right, to help draw in some specialty events. I mean, the reality is it's not all about the big prize that is the draw. It's sometimes just the bigger event that the money draws, right, the more the spectacle that happens to it. It's certainly special for those who can't get in the truck and drive to Vegas, or can't get in and head down to the Golf Star events for their big wins or things like that. To have something at home that is a bigger deal, right? Doesn't have to be every weekend, but it's really cool to see things like that, particularly when you get to Saskatchewan and whatnot, where there's not a lot of big centers, there's not a lot of big tracks, but they're certainly doing a great job, improving every year on what they've got.
Yeah, and sounds like a bunch of guys from all that area, the Alberta area are interested in coming. A lot of guys that just people I have on Facebook, right, and people I met when I was fortunate enough to go out there. They're all going. There's a lot of support for that, and those guys that all go to Rad Torque, they all go to Medicine Hat. They're all going to make the tour to Saskatchewan. So cool deal.
Excellent.
I have no idea what the logistics are of it, but awesome to see the support of different racetracks and supporting each other, right?
Yes.
So it's a great deal.
Absolutely.
I got some more big money racing, some high roller weekend coming up. Shannonville Drags has their high roller event with the WDRA Rod Trophies coming in once again. Should be a cool event. They got a lot of different news and different things coming out. I know they're doing pizza for dinner. I forget, on Saturday night. It's like a racer appreciation party. They have a band, pizza. There was something else. I want to say
chicken ribs, buddy. Chicken ribs.
Yeah,
chicken ribs. Yeah, it's the ones. Trust me. I saw the post. I'm I'm not this way for a lot of reasons outside of not loving that type stuff. So
yeah. So yeah, looks like a cool deal. Lots of different stuff coming out. They now have a best losing package for round 2 award they're giving out. Lots of different stuff that's going on there, right? I don't have a list in front of me that lists everything, but they're obviously putting in a lot of work there to make, give the racers more, right? Racer appreciation stuff. Not always does it need to be 5, 10, 20, 50, or 100 grand to win that brings the racers in, right? It's the experience that you come with, having a good time, and then, the little prizes that you can get throughout the weekend and whatnot. So we've seen that in however many other promotions that are still surviving right now, right? And thriving for the most part.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Awesome deal for them. Andrew, I want to talk about some IHRA stuff for a minute.
Yeah. Well,
So-
we've touched on it a few times over the many months that we've been running here, right? Because it's been a bit of a roller coaster, hasn't it?
It's one way to put it, right?
Yeah.
Definitely one way to put it. If you look back in our conversations, Andrew, I believe we are very surprised that it's at this point.
If I'm truly honest about it, I'm absolutely floored. Now, in a good way. Like, I don't want to come off as anything else. If I had to put money on it, or I was going to put money on it, I would not have anticipated this past weekend's event at National Trail. It's Darana Motorsports Park, National Trail, Hebron, Ohio. I wouldn't have put money on that it went down. And it drew some big sportsman names. It had 8 car fields for Top Fuel. Funny Car had 8 car fields for Top Fuel Dragster. It had just about a full Mountain Motor Pro Stock field, which in itself is, one of the core classes from back in the day with it. And it had Canadians. Tony Pontieri was there. He qualified 5th, represented well. Alcohol Funny Car full field, Top Alcohol Dragster full field, and I think with a bump spot. Actually, Canadian Stan Sipos with the win in Top Alcohol Funny Car from BC. Just as a side note from all that.
Did Paul Noakes semifinal that?
Paul Noakes, he had to run Bellamur in round 1, and that's a bad draw, right?
Oh, yeah,
but, yeah, like you got the guy with the fastest alcohol funny car on the planet, and apparently also the guy with the fastest injected nitro funny car on the planet, and you got him in round 1. But Paul Noakes was there as well in a car. So again, drew well, but an overall hiccups, first time out type thing. I mean, nothing goes perfect the first time, I think, in any action, but they pulled it off. They had all the classes, they paid all the money they said they were going to. The event went off. The track owner, when they did have rain and they had weather, just like we've talked about in a couple of different events here, he's out there in his helicopter using the downdraft to dry the track. I mean, that is, if there was a more expensive way to dry the track than a jet dryer, I'm almost positive using your helicopter is more expensive than the jet dryer. But nonetheless, the event happened. They had to finish it on Sunday due to, again, weather and track. They're there. Milan is coming up in
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah. I think the cutoff is July 20th for pre-entry, so it has to be within about a 7-day span there. So July 27th, maybe. And a lot of the folks I talked to, so we were at Empire and we were following, because again, there was a lot of great racers at Empire who were following what was going on down there. And everyone got paid. Everyone had a positive experience. I mean, when the owner of the IHRA is out, hit with a skid steer and a skid of ice, and everyone getting 2 bags of ice because again it was hot down there as the handout, free dinners. He seems like he's in, and the cubic dollars are being spent to make sure this happens and it goes. And I give him full credit. The pro side showed up, the sportsman side showed out, and I'm excited to see what Milan draws. That's going to be another interesting one.
And I believe Milan just got a makeover. Somebody just told me that they had a makeover. National Trail did, or Duran, whatever you want to call it, did as well. I believe somebody said Tuesday or Wednesday they were there. They were still paving some parts of the pits or something like that. But that's huge investment in a short period of time for all these racetracks and things they want to do. So, we definitely understand that, especially being in a northern part of the United States, right? There's only so many months of the year that you can work on these things and race. So look great. thought it was really neat how whatever day they finished the first race, was it Thursday or Friday?
Thursday, the Pro-Am.
Um, Troy Williams Jr. with a win, Kenny Underwood with a win, Jacob Elrod with a win. So like some names that are, legendary IHRA names, right? Guys that won this like in IHRA's prime. These guys were there winning, and then the first weekend back, it's these same dudes coming back and doing it all over again. So that was neat for like the nostalgia part of it, and
For sure.
guys like that. Obviously, like the Elrods, they follow the national end trail for the most part, right? So it makes sense for them to be there and support that. Troy Williams Jr. not as much for that type of racing anymore, right? More of the big money stuff, but and same with Kenny Underwood. But cool for both those guys to come back and do that, right? And show their support for the IHRA and what they're doing. Lots of big.
Well, the asterisks I would say to that too, when you talk about big money, I mean, it was $5,000 to win Top Dragster, $5,000 to win Hot Rod, $5,000 to win Super Rod, Quick Rod. Like when we talk about the definition of big money, typically, right, and this may get adjusted over inflationary rates, $5,000 is kind of where we start in most circles.
Yep.
And that's what they were paying to win on the Pro-Am Wednesday, Thursday. So you say typical big money racers. I mean, these guys were at, by the definition of the bottom end at least, at a big money race, right?
Yep.
And guaranteed, not prorated, not anything else. So, that's you say Troy Williams. I mean, that's his thing, right? Give me a $5,000 or more. So that part I found interesting too when you started to get into it, right? And looked at the draw and like, yeah, these guys were paying. I mean, as I think it was, I seen a post today, Damian Hazelton, who was a very like multi-time Division III Super Street champion, who had a lot of years of success in the IHRA. Like that is not an unfamiliar home to him. Pointing out that he recently won Norwalk, and his win at Norwalk is essentially the same payout as a semifinal in IHRA. And not to be negative, he wasn't trying to slam anyone, just that this is how invested these guys are on the IHRA side of making this work for the sportsman.
Yeah, and I think it made a big statement for what it was, that it did kind of go the way it did. So we'll see, right? There's a lot of, obviously that's the hot topic now for this week, right? Obviously right after, but look great. I think the bar is getting set very high. Like they're going to maintain it. We've already seen a bunch of stuff, right? Once there's one slip, it's going to be, everybody's going to be all over that. And, same with anything. It's like people just tear it down. If everybody did get a chance to see Disco Dean Carnes there Friday night, they were having some problems with the lights at the top end. I believe I was watching it while I was getting ready to go to the track. Lights weren't working at the top end. It was this, it was that, and Disco goes out and goes 378. And says, man,
lays it down.
These guys are putting up a good, paying the money. They got the racetrack, they got everything else. Like you gotta be here to support it. Support all that stuff, instead of just sitting at home on your keyboards talking crap. So
that was a refreshing deal. I if you watch that, if you haven't seen that, I mean, it's not hard to find that clip. Go on Facebook or social media. I'm sure it's on Instagram somewhere too, right? Find that.
Well,
yeah, I would watch that. It's an honest to God take from someone that like, I don't think Disco Dean is, and not that I know him by any means, but like never known him to necessarily hold back very much. It's not like he's a very quiet, quiet. He's just not, that's one of those people that doesn't speak much, but he spoke the truth. There is a lot of facts laying down. If you look at a lot of things, and you can apply it to a lot of different series out there that are trying their hardest to make racing for their racers better. And he laid it out very straightforward. I think you take that same speech and apply that to a couple of different areas, it's very applicable. So it was fun to watch because it certainly was animated. I'm not sure that it's entirely PG-13. I think there's a few bombs in there, right? So yeah, maybe not, bring this up in front of the junior kids, right? I'm sure anyone over 13's probably heard that a few times that they've hung out at a racetrack, but anyone else, be careful. But nonetheless, I would be very truthful, very refreshing, right? Particularly in a world where there's been a few times where racers have spoke out, but it's always been careful because again, you don't want to, bite hands too hard. But In this case, he was defending an association that, up to this point, as I said to start this all off, I certainly didn't have I had a lot of concerns, and they pulled it off. They did it. They got the first one under them, right? And they did it in really good fashion in the sense of they delivered, they promised, and they delivered. And that's sometimes all you can ask for.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a breeding ground for, grassroots heroes, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but like the nitro cars, right? You think back to Clay Milliken, where he came from, right, was IHRA, and all that stuff, right? He was it's a different type of racing than NHRA. It's a different feel. I don't know. I haven't been to the new IHRA yet, but I know what it was before and the feel of it then. So if they get to that point again, they really have something cooking for them.
Well, honestly, so I think if you look at the history and you look at the importance of it, Matt Hagan cut his teeth in IHRA Pro Mod. If you were in Edmonton, you saw Matt Hagan racing a fuel car at his development in an IHRA trim or dragster. I think it was fuel car before Matt Hagan was Matt Hagan.
Yes.
The elite group was elite in IHRA before they were elite in NHRA, and that was in Mountain Motor Pro Stock, and they're cutting their teeth in that before they became as good as they were in NHRA Pro Stock, and now, they're synonymous with some of the greats, their camp and their drivers, right? Clay Milliken was another prime example that made their way over there. There's various like Vincent Nobile, the Nobile family. That was a Mountain Motor Pro Stock team. Vincent Nobile was a very successful NHRA Pro Stock driver for many, many years. There is a ton of people whose success through the IHRA years and all the different renditions of it cut their teeth, right? You don't think that Mike McIntyre win in Nitro Funny Car wasn't a big deal to that team, then you're kidding yourself. That was huge for them. And that was a team that's on the cusp of doing some things on the NHRA side. They've made good passes. If that's not a shot in the arm and a shot in the budget for whatever it might help, then I don't know what is. And they did that against Del Worsham.
Yep.
Not a slouch.
No.
I think, well, sure, if that's not the old Alexis DeJoria car, then okay, it's still a Del Worsham car. I don't really care, right? Palmer, right, making runs, doing things. So it's an important ground. It's an important place to have this happen. And God, it was exciting to see a group of like, there was 8 cars on each side of that ladder that I don't care who won. It was going to be a great story, right? From Krista Baldwin to, Lex June. Pick them. Doesn't really matter. It was going to be a great day to see someone pick up that Ironman, and thank God they went back to the old Ironman.
Correct.
That one. But, nonetheless.
No, I love it. I think it's a great spot. Gives more opportunity for those racers to be the superstars of the weekend, right? There's more room in the world for nitro cars, right? There's more attraction for nitro cars, right? And you bring these guys in or these racers in that, they're, Scott Palmer can compete in the NHRA, has done it, however many times. Same Krista Baldwin. Everybody else comes out. These people are now the superstars of IHRA, right? They become the big name, right?
Yeah.
They sell the T-shirts. They draw the crowd, and draw all the other people in. So,
Terry Haddock is a world champion in IHRA, right?
Terry Haddock is running the number 1. I don't know if you noticed that or saw the post.
Was he?
He was running the number 1. He was the last Nitro Funny Car champion in IHRA when that series with the Nitro stuff kind of folded away.
And there you go. Like that's a move. Like, I wish I had noticed. I had not. Now that I've heard that, like, there you go. Right. Like, and Terry Haddock's a great racer. He's a just qualifier in NHRA, and he can hold his own. He's been to semifinals. He's been in some of the Mission Foods too fast, too tasty challenge type deals. Like, he's hung with the crowd, but it's hard to hang with JFR. Like, unless you got JFR money, you're not gonna be there in every week. This gives them a platform to go out there and beat them, man. And they can. They're all great people. You watch Krista Baldwin, they interact and do all the things that all the big teams do. They just, it's a great place to go get things figured out and crown other champions. And
I love the challenge that it's going to bring, because they're running a lot of 8th mile stuff too. Or like, they have 5 events this year, so they're run some 8th mile, some 1,000 foot. It's a different type of racing, right? The 8th mile stuff. A lot of these guys can compete a lot better on the 8th mile. For what money, obviously, in heads-up racing is obviously a huge factor. Doesn't matter what it is. I don't care if you're running pro mod, radial stuff, on the street, grudge racing, don't matter. Money, for the most part, when you're heads-up racing, is going to take over.
Yeah.
You go to a racetrack that's not as cooperative, maybe. And now we're talking some more skill. We're talking some guys that did this match racing stuff, like the Peyton car, right? They were Lancaster, and that's where Mike and Vic were. And I was talking to Mike about it, and I'm like, they're going and they're sending this thing down Lancaster Dragway, and firing down, getting down clean. A bunch of guys couldn't get down at National Trail for Q1.
Yeah.
You send Todd and the whole Peyton crew there. They start coming, and they roll in. You can afford more with the 8th mile stuff, and they can hang with anybody, and they can get down just about any racetrack. Same with all those, like the old school tuner. You know what I'm saying? And
absolutely.
You're not taking nothing away from the NHRA guys. Are saying that's because of the racetrack, but it's a different playing field. It's a different type of event, and I'm here for it. I love it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And you touched on a valid point with the 8th mile stuff. Like when you look at some of the incremental numbers, I know I'm really diving into the nerd part of racing, but the front half numbers and back half numbers of some of these cars in all the classes, right? Like I'm looking forward to seeing what top alcohol funny car and top alcohol dragster look like in 8th mile runs, because when you look at some of those injected nitro cars versus the blown setups, they do different things in the first 300 or 600 feet than they do in the last 1,000 or quarter. Nitro funny car stuff's no different. You watch it, and top fuel funny or nitro dragster and nitro funny car. Sorry, can't talk. The back half numbers of some of those big teams, and even some of the small teams, right? Like Terry Haddock has numbers to the 60 and 330 that are in line with some of the big teams. It's sometimes getting it past that point to try to hang with them is the tough part. Well, not to the 8, it's a different ballgame, and some of these. Really good teams. Like I looked at the Crystal Baldwins, like they get down the track very well and they do well. Some of their early numbers aren't necessarily as good. They've got some good numbers. They've had some great laps, but all of a sudden now it's a different game. And I always think this is something I'd like to see. I've always wanted to see a series mix it up on lengths. I mean, I know everyone's very been traditionalist in the quarter and now the 1,000 and 8th mile has been very shunned as far as gas nitro racing, even like in pro stock. That was kind of neat to see 500-inch cars go into the 660. Wasn't many of them, but it was interesting to see that take place. It's a different race. It's shorter, but it's a different tune to it, right? There is a different aspect to get into the 8th as aggressively as possible. You don't need the car to survive 1,000 feet. You just need to survive 661 feet, right? Exactly. And I'm intrigued to see how that goes, right? Because I think you're going to see some interesting numbers. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about the race to 300 mile per hour in the 8th, which I think it was Brittany Force that, if not one of the first, was the first, if not one of the first.
Who was it? Scrappers did it first.
Yeah, Mike Salinas and Brittany was there not long after. So it was a milestone that kind of got forgotten because they kept driving past it. Yeah. Right. To the next marker. Right. Whereas in this format, that's going to be the number. And I think when you see, if we ever do see an IHRA, just because of the nature of what it is, if 300 come up, that's going to be a big moment, even though it's been done by someone first. If someone has accomplished it in the IHRA side in any one of the events, I think that's the person that you may end up remembering a bit more because that's going to be the number. It's not just
what comes on the scoreboard. Right? That's on the scoreboard. It's not just on the time slip.
Yeah, no different than when 341 came up in Bradenton for Tasca, right? It was on the board. Doesn't matter. Like no one remembers it. Well, I shouldn't say that. NHRA doesn't necessarily remember it. But the rest of us remember that's the car that went 341 because it was on the board, right?
Exactly.
So, interesting thoughts. But, really excited to see this on a different length and just something formally different.
Yeah. No, it'll be cool. We'll switch gears a little bit as we wrap up, Andrew. NHRA Nashville Open this weekend in Napierville. I talked about it a little bit earlier on in the show. That's where I will be hanging out. I know a bunch of Maritimers coming up. Said earlier about talking with Jason McNeil. Jason and I are going to get to hang out. I did call a bit of a shot at the start of the year. I did put that in one of my goals that I did want to beat Jason in Super Comp. Jason's plan right now is to run top dragster, so he did point that out to me. He said, that want to kick my butt in Super Comp, you're gonna have to wait a little bit. But maybe during the bracket race we can, maybe he'll chase me to the lanes. We'll see what happens. But
hey, it's a lot of openings there.
yeah, we'll see what happens. But should be fun. I'm excited to see everybody from down east, and just I'm excited to race Super Comp again and try that out this time. I said on my Facebook post, gonna be on the long track now. I'm gonna go with full quarter. So
Yeah.
I want to say it's got to have been 10 years. I don't think I've ran quarter mile since I was in Miramichi. So I think it's been 10 years since the whole way down.
Did you ever come to one of my races at Cayuga or just St. Thomas?
Raced your race at Cayuga. We ran 8th.
It was one of the short weekends. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
It's going to be fast.
It is going to be fast. We'll see. But yeah, we'll figure it. So don't have any time to get there Thursday to test. So you and I will be doing some over the phone tuning.
That's no problem.
We've done that before. We'll do it again. So we'll get some numbers in the box and we'll take a shot. We'll see what comes up on the scoreboard, right? Whatever.
That's the plan. We'll do it in between. I'll help you with the throttle stop setup on the other side while you give me some pointers when I'm at Dragway 42, trying to hang with people far better than myself at the Ace race. So a little back and forth will work perfect, right? So
good team effort.
Yes.
So National Open coming up, doing Super Comp, should be a lot of good racing. Bracket Bonanza is coming up, so that's gonna be wicked again. I'm excited for that. 2 5s and then 2 10s for myself. Andrew, as you just said, right? You're heading back to Ohio. It's a surprise. Andrew Sturck going back to race in Ohio. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I think my second home now. They're if I'm not careful, they're going to start taxing me for being down there. Just resident, right? So 42 this weekend for the Ace race. They had a quick format change on it because of pending weather. So credit where credit's due. They see a window. They're going to go for it. We're going to run for $60,000. That's just what the 3 days were before. Now it's 2:30 Friday, Saturday. All good. Looking forward to it. It's going to be the same amount of fun. Turn it around, go back to Empire to start the racecation week the week after. Going to go enjoy some Peyton match race against the Anthill Mob at Empire Dragway, July 26th, 27th.
I got it here. Once it comes up, where is it going on? Yeah, 26, 27. You're good at this.
Nailing it. Well, not really, but we're down there at Empire. Check out some box, no box racing at Empire. Watch the show. They've got, I said, fuel cars. They got some nitro car or alcohol funny cars booked in. Probably a jet car, I think I saw. And then from there, the racecation starts. We'll head to Cedar Point. Give that a try. I'm sure I'm not going to leave there with a full pocket of anything based on how that's going to work out. But water slides and rides, roller coasters, and then from there, make our way to mid-Michigan for my first kick at the World Super Pro Challenge. So that is the goal over the next few weeks. It'll be 7 weeks in a row of racing in either Quebec or the U.S.
Why not, right?
It's been fun. I can't complain. And with diesel prices being rather acceptable, at least in a generalized sense, compared to what it was 2 years ago when it was like $2.40 a liter, making it work.
What else you gonna do? Sit at home on the keyboard and type about being angry at IHRA? No, you're not, right? Let's go race.
Let's go do it.
I'd love to join you on the big tours, right? But that's how it goes. We'll have some time. I got 2 points for you. When I went to Cedar Point when I was younger, TGI Fridays was there. Got to hit it, right? Love TGI Fridays. World Super Pro Challenge is a lot of fun. It's a blast. It's and if you do get down to 4 or go to the finals, the good luck thing to do is go buy ice cream for everybody, like everybody within your area.
Yes.
You're headed to the finals, and when I was there, we went. Rachel and Daniel went and bought ice cream. I think they got 6 or 8 things of ice cream before the final round, and that's it just happened. Celebratory.
You know what? I'm in on that. I like that. See, these are the things. I'm not a superstitious person, but I am the most superstitious person racer I feel like I've ever met, and I'm on board with that. Ice cream.
Love it. Absolutely.
Get her down to 4, grab the ice cream, which isn't a bad idea. It's not going to be hot as sin, right? Like, it's been a hot summer. It just seems a smart way to survive. I'm in.
Yeah, love it. All right, bud. That's it. We were gonna do a mid-season evaluation, but we got no time for that.
Yeah,
We're all
let's
good. We're
regroup on
doing
that.
decent. You're turning win lights on. You're collecting some big checks. Mustang's working great. Corvette's still really good and just needs it to all come together. So
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
we're sorting out. My stuff's working really good. Got a new
Now, have
shock
you
on
got the new name for Rachel's car yet? I've
was supposed to come to the Super Tour race.
yeah.
Didn't make it there, so I think Friday I'll have it on.
Okay. Okay,
Mhm.
so big debut on the name on Rachel's car. Have you guys come to an agreement yet and how this is going to work? Since you are racing her car, I wasn't sure if there was some conversation had at the Napierville about the fact that it is still Rachel's car, right?
It
So I
is.
wasn't quite sure. Yeah.
I think the deal is that she wants to leave my fast motor in when she gets back in the car next year, but we'll see.
See how that works out. I wasn't quite sure how the rent checks were getting processed there because you have been getting some money rounds. I didn't know how Rachel's cut on this was working.
Yeah. She's doing all right.
She's doing all right. Okay, that's just looking out for the interests of the car owners here. Right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Somebody's got to do it.
That's awesome. Yeah, we'll do the mid-season review as we get into it here. I feel like I don't really want to call this mid-season. I feel like that's maybe even a bit premature, depending on. Well, we race into October a lot, right? The world does, right, with the Turkey Nationals out my way and a lot of other stuff going on. So save that maybe for.
And after the Bonanza, after
I'll
the Bonanza in the World Super Pro Challenge, then we'll do that.
That feels like a good point to do some mid-season because I'll call it by then. Okay, I'm in.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you guys very much for hanging out, listening to the nonsense as we keep going. It's fun to be back, right? Nice to do this again and talk racing, talk some nonsense. Take an hour to just talk about drag racing for which we do it all the time. Normally we're working on stuff.
Valid.
Or last night changing a rear end in Mike's car till 10:30. So it's all part of the game, right? If you're in a race, however many weekends in a row, you got to work through the week, brother.
It's going from one job to the next job, right? It's punch out of one clock and the night job starts.
Yeah. But, all right, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, pro1safety.ca. Make sure you are, whenever you do need any stuff updated, seatbelts, fire suit, just upgrades for fun or because your stuff's expired, check them out, pro1safety.ca. Lots of dealers around. Yeah, we'll talk to you guys all soon. Good luck. Hope to see you all out at the racetrack sometime soon.
Have a good one.
Bracket racing isn't just what we do, it's who we are. It's how we identify ourselves.
What does bracket racing mean to me? It's my life. It's where my people are. My idols, my family, my friends.
Bracket racing is life. Bracket life.